1.
Should tilt the camera just a tad.
And we are live.
Turn it.
Woo. So we should, in theory, be live. If not, I'm backup recording this for safety.
Good.
Because I've learned from previous mistakes.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going live right now.
We are live.
We are live.
Woo. All right, everyone. I am Andrew Camp from TubeBuddy, and I am joined with probably the most star-studded cast we have had on the live stream experience. Usually I am the man behind the camera, but today I am joined with a panel of experts. So I guess we'll start left to right with Ryan Johnson, then Nick Nimmin, there's me, Owen Hemseth, and then Roberto Blake. You should recognize all of us from the TubeBuddy channel or individual channels. Links will be in the description below. I have gotten a lot of questions from our community for you guys, so this is going to be a little different than how we usually do it. Usually it is super focused on how can we grow, how can we utilize TubeBuddy, but I think it's more fun. We never get this opportunity. In fact, I think this is most of our first time meeting each other. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yeah, for me, it's my first time meeting everybody.
Yeah, IRL.
Yeah,
IRL. Yeah, right.
Me and Omi are me and Owen are homies.
Omi.
I was wondering where you're going.
From now you're Omi.
Your new name?
We go way
Omi
back and
Hemseth.
everything like that. We've done
So
many
the chat is enjoying it, everyone, so that's good. So we have questions, and the first question I have for everyone is, how was VidSummit thus far? So I guess we will go either down the line or just chime in as general.
Awesome. One word, awesome.
All right.
I really have not had a good time here. To be honest with you. It's been awful.
Owen's hard to please.
Yeah, totally. The caviar was raw. I mean, I just didn't enjoy it at all.
They fed you?
Yeah, well,
They fed you?
yeah, it was the condition of being here. I'll tell you, I was at all the VidSummit so far. This is the fourth one, and the first one we were in that small room upstairs, right? But now we've blown up way beyond that. The caliber of person that's here has expanded dramatically. So I'm in awestruck. I love that I'm a part of this conference.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I've gotten to meet a lot of people that have knew all of you and were like, where are you? So it's been interesting to wonder where you guys are throughout the conference. Also, TubeBuddy has been getting a lot of recognition, which is awesome. So, Nick, what about you?
Yeah, this has been outstanding. Like for me, I came from the other side of the planet to come to this conference.
That's right.
And to meet some of you guys specifically, and it's just been an incredible experience for me. Like, this is the first conference like this that I've been to. Around YouTube. So for me, this has just been an outstanding experience.
So that's right. You haven't really gone to a YouTube conference.
No, I'm on the other side of the planet. So for me, going
That's
to
awesome.
these isn't as practical, right?
Yeah.
So this has just been absolutely incredible and worth every minute, worth every dime, worth all of it. It's just been an amazing experience.
Are you able to walk down the hallway without being stopped by someone?
From time to time.
Yeah,
from time to time. But
Going to the
it's been
bathroom.
cool. Yeah, it's been cool. Just meeting people, having people say that I mean, you guys have been experiencing this stuff for years, but just having people getting that validation.
That's awesome.
from people that you're helping. That's an amazing feeling.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Brian?
Yeah, being able to connect with people, we all work from the comfort of our home, and we get to know each other on a pretty close level, but something truly magical happens when you get to spend time with people, share ideas, like Nick's experiencing the amazing opportunity where you get to spend time with someone that has really been impacted by what you've done, or you get to pay tribute to someone that has been a part of your journey.
Yeah.
And that's why these events really are so wonderful, because at the end of the day, it's not just always like how much money. It's like, how are we contributing? What are we doing? And that's what this is really about. I think I'm talking about community. So
Yeah.
Meeting people that actually, one of the most heartwarming things to me was, someone came up to me after the Gary Vee talk and told me that they started a business because of me.
Oh, wow.
And it's doing, over, 6 figures, and that a year ago they didn't have that business.
That's awesome.
And
That's
that,
amazing.
I wanted to cry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You changed a life. I mean, that's that validation that you literally, from what it is that you do on YouTube and in your business in general, you've literally just completely changed their life. And if they have a business like that, you've rippled that through everything else that they're doing as well. It's
I had someone tell me that they were calling the police because of me. It's like the same thing.
Those restraining orders are no joke.
Yeah,
man. Those are
they
no
take them
joke.
seriously
Yeah.
in LA.
So we were getting complaints from the chat that this is a rectangular table and that we called it a round table. So
okay, and here we go.
Yep.
The comments section. People are killing me.
But we got some good people. Kim here is out there. Texas Little Star. Doug Houston is out there. I mean, these are the people. You know, it's neat because when I stream, like these are people that I see on the TubeBuddy stream, and I hadn't really thought about like you must see them on the TubeBuddy stream too, and you too, and you too. You know, and it's neat that there's this connection that's happening, having all of us here streaming, and we're talking to this audience that we've all grown a personal relationship with, and now we have this like communal relationship.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting, and you see these interesting characters, and like, you know, and the funny thing is, like, now we're finally getting to meet some of them here in real life. Yeah, they're not just an avatar and an icon anymore, or a profile pic. They're like a flesh and blood human.
Indeed,
exactly. Like, so, yeah, I mean, that's just like, it's cool, it's different. We enjoy meeting you guys. We enjoy that interaction too, and it's very rewarding for us to know that we've affected you in some way.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So we also have a live audience, which we can't show currently because of limited ports on a MacBook, but they will be asking...
You're real! We're here behind the camera! That's right! And we're not fake! These are not fake recordings!
This still has more ports than the MacBook that I just bought. We know that rant. We remember.
Yes.
We remember, the North remembers.
Yeah. So one of the questions we have gotten, which really interested me, and I think this is really relevant, especially for the topics we've been having at VidSummit, and this was a question that was asked on the forums, and they're like, I never get a chance to see the stream, but I've always wondered, what was it like before you became big? What is the biggest change you've seen now to then? Obviously views and subscribers, but what have you changed about your strategy? What has changed about you and how you look at YouTube, how you look at the platform? So again, we really don't have a good way to like choose who goes, but whoever wants to chime in first, I think that works.
Okay, I'll go.
Go.
Yeah. That for me, as far as looking at the platform, when I first started uploading, I didn't take it seriously. Right? I didn't understand like the impact you could have. I didn't understand the opportunity that was there. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to do this and kind of see how it goes type of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, now it's crystal clear. You know, and it has been for a while, but it's crystal clear. You know, the reach that you can have, the opportunity you can have, the contribution that you can have to other people and things like that. I mean, it's like that. I didn't get that when I first started on YouTube.
I think that's, I'll double down on that. You know, for me, it's always been about subscribers. It's always been about how big is your channel. And I think you asked the question was like, you know, what was like before you were big? Like you come to an event like this and I don't feel big. You know, I just feel like I've got a foothold at least, you know. But what I've learned about it is that it's not about the subscribers, the view counts, or even the click-throughs. It's about the change. It's about the evolution of you as a person and improving your content, growing your client base, and growing with the people that log in and leave the comments. You know, that part is more real to me now. It's more about like, can I be a better person because of this today than I was a year ago?
When I started, I was trying to understand things and figure things out, and that really hasn't changed. But what I wasn't doing was, I don't think I was beyond, say, disciplining myself. I wasn't challenging myself. The challenge before was disciplining myself to put out the balance of quality and quantity.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that out. I've like got that down, and now what I'm trying to do is challenge myself creatively and challenge myself as a human empathetically in how I can build a deeper connection with the audience, how I can serve them better, how I can challenge myself to tackle topics and explore things that are not necessarily 100% my comfort zone, or not the thing that I have absolute mastery in the universe over. Like, I want to stretch. Because what a lot of creators do when they get to a certain level is, and it's the right thing if you want to grow your channel. I want to grow Roberto Blake. And I'm somewhat, I'll be honest, I'm prepared to, and I'm practically throwing my channel under the bus.
Killing me, man.
To grow me. Because growing me means I have to look at the fact that the thing that will get less views on my channel is when I hit something that's like serious and maybe motivational, or tell a personal struggle story. But the 3,000 views on that everyone is going to give me so much crap for my subscriber count is 3,000 people that I might have talked off the ledge, and that's something I think I have to do now more than I have to do another video that gets 1 million views.
Yeah, you're bringing up topics that somebody needed to hear about. It may not have been the viral thing that everyone liked and wanted to share, but it was the talking off the ledge. That was that thing that got someone else to see things differently. I love the way that you just said that.
Yeah, you know, guys, the thing that I keep hearing, and I think it's so important because you get on this journey and you're very excited about a place I want to get to, and I'm going to learn the things, I'm going to use the tools. TubeBuddy is awesome, and we're trying to achieve that success that is inside of us, that is possible. And then you get there, and then you're like, well, I'm almost there if I can move forward, and I'm going to get there. And, you know, it reminds me of a picture of Einstein on the last day of his death. And his office looks very busy and messy, and he's just continuing. And I think as human beings, we want to continue to evolve and push ourselves. So, you know, I think really that, you know, how is it different now from when you started? It's not. This thing called life is about evolving, like Owen said. It's about striving and just moving forward. And if there's anything I can share is that if you can take a little bit of joy and satisfaction and some grace and some power and some being excited about where you're at right now today, because when it's all over, then that is what matters, not how many subscribers you have, how you live today, impacting someone, you know. So I think it's important to have a goal. I think that's awesome, but don't let it eat you inside. And there's so many people. And I've been there. I've lived it. So, hoo-ha, let's do this.
Fist bump.
I actually want to slow clap that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Woo! Likewise. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Nick?
Yeah. Pose a question? Yeah, all of that. I'm like so wrapped up in these answers. Right? I'm like, wow. I know this is great.
So
this is great.
Where is karaoke?
What are you saying?
So what has changed from when you started to now? What is your strategy has changed?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. As far as the not like when I first started, I didn't like understand, you know, like the opportunity. I didn't understand the impact. I didn't understand like the whole thing really about YouTube and like what it actually was. You know what I mean? The power that YouTube has as far as reaching other people.
The
power. Know the power.
Double R Restorations is saying, "Don't miss the journey."
The journey.
That's what it's all about.
That's it.
I'll tell you. Have you guys ever, maybe not physically cried? I know I have, but I'm a crier.
Like a minute ago? No, for real. During Gary Vee, I'm like, God, if anyone sees this.
Of course, he was in the bathroom at the time, so it's weird. Yeah, you know, like, have you ever been in this place with your channel where you're just like so frustrated and it's just something's going wrong, or you cried over your channel? I know that I have. Like, it gets frustrating, and I just can't.
Wow, that's just opening up, just kind of going raw, being real and authentic, and I dig it. And I think at that point, I've been there. Like sometimes, like, you know, you play the comparison game, and that's got to be the most devastating piece of like however long you decide it to be. And when you get wrapped up in that, you are on a course of despair, disappointment, and another word that begins with D. Okay, they can't all hit people. I mean, I'm trying. I'm doing what I can, and if I could just get a little bit of participation, I'd appreciate it.
I got a little lucky in the fact that I never mentally got there, because I was a track and cross country runner, so I figured out, like, in life in general, to stop playing the comparison game, because my coach helped me understand that that's how you lose, and that my strength was in running my own race, and that my only adversary when I hit the track is the clock. Like, all I have to do is, it got to a point to where, and I say this a lot, is I would rather take the bronze and have my fastest time than get a gold for being 30 seconds slower than my last race. Like, it would really piss me off to win being slower. I would rather take the bronze and be faster. Like that's very real to me, and it's meant stay in your lane, run your own race. The way the other person's doing it, it doesn't matter, because the thing is, there was a trick. There's a psychological trick in it. I see it in YouTube. A trick that a lot of us runners figured out is that we started at an unsustainable pace for like a minute or two. It would just discourage everyone else, and they would scale back, and they would hold back more, and it would make them slower. And we already knew that we weren't really going to go flat out forever on that. It just looked that the gap looked so insurmountable that they would get discouraged, and they wouldn't even try to catch us. And they would just like augment their pace. And because we knew that, we could stay ahead. And I see the same thing happening in YouTube, and the difference is nobody's doing it to you on purpose. You're doing it to yourself by looking at the other person running their race, and you just say, oh, I can't do that, or the gap's too far, it's too saturated, it's been done, I can't do it. And what you don't realize is that the reason you won't make it is because you think that, versus if you were just running your own race and just saying, I'm just going to run my best race, I'm going to ignore everybody else, it's just me and the field, it's just me and my goal, you would win because you would get your best result instead of worrying about what anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And to expand on that too, like you don't know, like when you're playing a comparison game, you don't know when, like you don't know where somebody else is getting their traffic from either.
Exactly.
You don't know if they have a friend, or you don't know if they have a bunch of friends that are on YouTube. You don't know if they have, you know, a large Twitter following, mailing list, if they have other properties and investor. Right. Like you don't know where that's coming from. So unless you actually can look under the hood, you can't make a comparison.
There's solo creators out there comparing themselves to people who have a brand and a company, have 16 people working on their personal brand. And you're at home by yourself doing everything, and what you don't know, or you're looking at, why is this happening in YouTube with this channel, or are they favoring that? It's like, you don't understand that there's a corporate structure behind that. That
it's a machine.
Channel.
And you know, the moment you catch up to or pass that person you're comparing yourself to, you'll just find someone else to compare yourself to.
And it
starts again. There's always going to be someone bigger than you.
You know, one of the things I don't understand why we're not talking about the algorithm. I think this is the point in the show where we need to mention this. But seriously, it is important, because YouTube is a platform that really rewards content over months and years, and I don't know of any other platform on the planet or the galaxy that does that. So when you start out, you are at a bit of a deficit, and it is very challenging. But here's the good news, and this is what is so amazing about YouTube, is that as you grow and as you publish content, you have the ability to be found months and years later. Like Roberto's best performing video is from years ago. My best my best performing video is from a year ago, and it's even more exciting because I'm very confident that in the following year there will only be more of that. So if you get tied to why didn't it, you know, things aren't working out, I'm not moving forward, well, just, you know, settle down. I mean, just stay in your lane.
If I've worried about 48 hours, my best performing video that has over 1.1 million views, if I've worried about 48 hours, which is the algorithm thing we all worry about.
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
It got 95% of its 1 million views 6 months after I uploaded it. 6 months after I uploaded it.
Exactly.
And that's when it hit.
That's when it popped. Is that when it popped?
That's when it popped. And here's the other interesting thing. Now, that was also cumulatively over time. It didn't get all of that up front. It's still stretching out, and it's still getting views, and it's still stacking. And there will be things that will elevate it in the future. There'll be people who make related videos, and it will be more relevant again. I will make more videos that are similar, and it will be relevant again. I just don't want to milk that, because it puts you in a position where you can get stuck. You know,
and one thing, so I kind of want to share, like, here's the thing, we all are inspired by each other. We're inspired by you. And one of the things Roberto said that I so much agree with is that if you have the ability to put on your blinders and do the work and focus and commit, fully commit, to stake your claim, to decide it shall be, and move forward and publish content for a year, to stick to the schedule, I guarantee you will stand back and you will have better results than you have right now today. And at the end of the day, what's so sad is that most people can't do it. And if you want to make it happen, just decide. Just decide. Like, get out of your own way, get out of your own head, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to have 100,000 subs to have a business.
No.
You don't have to have 100,000 subs to be a professional. You know,
the guy in the Gary Vee talk
400 people.
400 people, and what was it?
250 grand.
I made more.
400 subscribers. Yeah, he churned out 250 grand. Yeah, from 400 subscribers.
So if you're wondering, he also mentioned affiliate marketing on our comments.
Affiliate marketing. So like I've had an affiliate promotion that generated $125,000 with 3 days of work when I had a failed channel, a channel that I consider failed, that had less than 1,000 subscribers, because I wasn't just solely focused on the numbers. I had a business plan around it. I was building a list. I was selling products. I was basically just sharing what I had learned. You know, I learned WordPress. I taught WordPress. I learned affiliate marketing.
Yeah, Owen started with that.
Same thing. Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's not like, it's not ad revenue, baby.
And you know, and to double down on what Roberto was saying, and what you're saying right now is that, you know, I learned WordPress. I did some videos on it. They had a little success, but you know what? Somebody saw that out in Virginia, and they said, we saw your videos, we like it, we want to pull you out to speak here. Great, free trip to Virginia. You know, I go out to Virginia, Jeffrey Gitomer is in the audience, right? Big sales and marketing guy. He sees me speak there, and he says, I want to hire you to do X, Y, and Z. He hires me, we do this event, and I sell, you know, 5 digits worth of product at his thing that had never happened to me before. You know, and
that was in one day.
Yeah, well, it's over the course of like a weekend.
Okay, a weekend, like 2 days. It was like a weekend.
All of this
5
work.
digits. So perspective, 5 digits means a minimum of $10,000 for everybody who would just like, you know, just to simplify it for that in a weekend. In a weekend.
Yeah, and it was close
and
to
that's
like
a minimum.
Like $12,000 is kind of what happened that weekend.
Yeah.
But you don't. I didn't have at that time. I didn't have a big channel. I didn't have no presence of mind. You know, I just was there.
You were doing it.
You were doing it.
Yes,
you were
exactly.
Doing
you had work that mattered and was proof. Because like people, like, here's the problem. Too many of you think, and again, I know I'm hard on you guys, but I love you. That's why I'm hard on you and everything like that. Maybe I got that from my dad.
Tough love.
Marine.
Yes.
Dad was Marine. Dad was a Marine. So like, that's why like I keep kicking you in your butt because that's all I got, right? So anyway, the point being that too many of you consider social proof. It ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't.
Vanity.
Your follower count, your subscriber numbers, vanity numbers, like they work. Owen's work without the vanity numbers, without the social proof and the social equity and leverage, his actual work, one piece of content that reached one person instead of 10,000, 100,000, a million. All of you, so many of you want to go viral. You know how many people literally call me up or email me or Twitter DM me that went viral and then their channel flopped from there or nothing happened and they made no money because they went viral and it got demonetized or they had no plan for going viral and everything like that. Owen didn't even need a plan for going viral. He had a plan and a contingency for one person being the right view, being the right view, being the one thing he needed to prove that he could do the work, to give him the opportunity to make an impact on somebody in the real world that put him in a position to turn around 5 figures in a weekend. You realize how many freaking views you'd have to get to turn around $12,000?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know people with millions of views that can't do it, can't get millions of views, and they can't make $12,000 on millions of views in YouTube. The thing, so many clamor for it and everything like that. Owen got like a few hundred views on a video, a few thousand views on a video, but one view was the right view. And it was it was the absolute difference in the beginning of your career as an entrepreneur.
That started, right.
And that's what matters. You never know who it is that's on the other side of that, on the other side of the screen.
Right.
Exactly. You know, like that's where that one view, you know, is important. Like when you have, 100 subscribers, you get 10 views a video, you don't know who those 10 people are.
Yeah.
You know, as far as, who could reach out to you, who could see the potential and what it is that you're doing, things like that.
Producer to
Exactly.
Think about it. It's happened.
Like,
we've seen it.
And if you're trying to
a great example of that, I apologize.
No, please.
Is the backpack kid. He was huge on Instagram. He nailed one person. Katy Perry was the one person he needed to jump on that point.
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
literally launched his career. So many people are focused on one platform, just one subscriber count. I have a question for all of you. How many things were you able to buy with your subscriber account? Not the money you earned, but just your subscriber count alone.
Nothing.
Not zero.
Nothing.
And that's what people think. They think the subscriber count equals dollar amount, and that doesn't mean it.
Oh, no, I wish. No,
oh,
I wish.
gosh.
No, I wish. No, I wish. In fact, if any of you are in the audience and you want to just like literally go ahead and contribute $1 or something,
right? Just $1 per subscriber.
$1 per subscriber. All my $250,000 and everything like that. I'll go ahead. I'll put it in index fund. I'll keep making content. It's fine.
Making it rain.
This backpack kid, right? For example, he did what was true to him, right?
Yes.
And you've got to make the content that's true to you, and sort of peel back that layer. I see a lot of creators out there that are trying to copy someone else. Hey, he did it this way, I'm going to do it that way, or she did it this way, I'm going to do it that way. And there might be some value in that in terms of like borrowing, titles and tags and some of that. But you've got to do your content, because when Ellen turns on your show and you're doing something someone else did, she's going to go right through it. But all of a sudden, Ellen turns on your channel, and you're doing this totally unique thing to you, and no one else has done anything like it.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, it's newsworthy. Now, all of a sudden, it's
That's why we know Gary Vee's name.
Yes.
We know Gary Vee's name because he made wine unpretentious. He wasn't every other sommelier in the country and everything like that, being snooty, looking down on you. He got truckers and 21-year-olds to give a crap about wine.
Yes.
Yes. I think we have got some great points on this topic. I think we've had a lot of things on here that's very valuable. I do think we should move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question I got, which I think was very interesting, and it was, what led you to YouTube, then what led you to TubeBuddy? So these are some questions, like, people know you on TubeBuddy, but I don't think we've actually ever talked about this.
That's awesome.
So I guess I'll start. We talked about the one person you needed to see. Phil, for me, Phil being our CEO, was the one person who saw me, who gave me a shot.
Yeah, you got a shot, brother.
Exactly.
Phil, can you come back here real fast? Just duck your head in.
Yeah.
Just give it up.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Just kind of duck your head.
Come on, Phil.
Up the camera. Don't.
No. There you go. Come down just a little bit. There we go.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, everybody. Big thanks to all these guys. TubeBuddy would not be where it's at without you. So, honestly, I really appreciate it. Glad you guys are having fun. I'm going to go back behind the camera.
But going back on that, he took a chance on me because I guarantee none of you knew who I was before TubeBuddy. And that's the thing. It didn't matter that I didn't have the name. I had the work ethic. I had a catalog of 600 videos that proved what I did.
Yeah.
And all I needed to do was show my work.
You got a job, brother.
Yes.
The far majority of creators don't have 600 pieces of content.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I learned by putting in 600 unique pieces of content is it's hard.
It's hard.
And from there, I get to be on a panel with some of my favorite YouTube experts. Like, that just doesn't happen every day. And I'm incredibly lucky.
Well, it does for you now.
Yeah.
That's your life, brother. You made it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to.
I just want to bounce something off because I think this is important. Like, we're talking about your journey. You're sharing that with us. And the question we started with, so I'm going back, and so there we are. It's such a pleasure for me, for Nick, for Owen, Roberto, all of us, for Phil, whether you're using TubeBuddy, whether you're applying a tactic. So when you're moving forward, understand that, you think we've got it figured out. We're in that same spot. We're all trying to grow, and it's so pleasurable for us to be able to watch you grow. So, I think it's just taking the next step forward. Like, Andrew, thanks for sharing that. I've heard you share that before, and I just love that. So just know that it's very much a two-way street, and you really make the community, period.
To that point, Brian, like, it's funny you've mentioned that because, like, in the attendees today and everything like that was Mike Lucas, Bijou Mike. He's a gamer on YouTube that's been watching me for like the last 2 years. And in the last 2 years, he went from 1,000 subscribers to 750,000. He's on his way to a gold play button. And he was like just so excited to finally meet me in person and talk with me. We did a great interview that's going to go up on the channel at some point about how to start a gaming channel.
Sure.
But he, at 750,000 subscribers, dwarfs me, dwarfs like I think all of us combined on this panel. And he was just so excited to be able to meet me in person. And I was excited to finally meet him and to be like, because it's like, you are one of my favorite students. You are one of my favorite YouTube success stories, and you put in the work and you applied what I've talked about in a way that I've never seen anybody do. And like, I think that's special. I wanted to give you the opportunity to share and to give to the audience. And so it was just excited to be able to do that with him because like you said, it is a pleasure and it's a joy for us to just be able to be a part of the community.
To be a part and watch.
To see your journey and to know that we contributed in some way. I
Right.
mean, that's
Yeah.
just exciting to see. How far can you guys go?
Yeah. How far can we all go? Like we're like I said, you know, we're trying to figure this thing out too. You know, we don't have all the answers.
Great point, man.
I mean, I think it's
I
really
think
important. Like
this panel, even between all of us, I don't think we have it all.
no,
We all learned stuff today.
we're
Yeah,
every
we all
like
learned
it's all
stuff today.
Absolutely.
kind of going back to that journey. You know, I do kind of want to get back to the question, Andrew, and you kind of asked about. Like how did we get to YouTube and how did we get to TubeBuddy? And for me, I started many years ago in 2002 really seeing an opportunity for search. And I just want to talk for maybe a second and a half, so that's a minute, about the opportunity that search provides, and TubeBuddy can help amplify and boost your channel by leveraging search and understanding how to move forward and make that a reality. You don't have to be a great salesperson at all to sell stuff. You don't have to have the ability to wow somebody over and get a new client. When somebody types in something like buy a Spock costume and you rank #1 on every search engine, making money is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So for me, I started out by just chasing keyword phrases and creating content, and it led me to creating hundreds and hundreds of websites. It led me to Amazon, not to be an author, but to be able to publish a page on Amazon.com, to be able to rank an ebook, so the right client would read that ebook, so I could get that job, so I could make that sale. And I returned to YouTube. Like I actually started on YouTube in 2007, but I never really focused. I never really applied and really tried to make it happen. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to give the platform justice. And I knew to do that, I needed to focus my attention. And as I began to really explore, test, read, study, do everything I can, you know, obviously I'm going to learn about the very best tools to use. And TubeBuddy really does make it easier for me to not only uncover keyword phrases that are important. It's not just about picking a keyword phrase. It's having the ability to understand competition. It's having the ability to know the strength of your channel. It's knowing when to back off. And TubeBuddy does that. And then next is uploading and using the tools and whatnot. I've learned stuff from Roberto. I've learned stuff from Webmaster World back in 2002. Matt Cutts. I've learned stuff.
Yeah.
Just all, and at the end of the day, you know, if you pay attention to search, it's the easiest path on YouTube to drive substantial traffic, and it's the doorway to the big boy traffic.
It's the one you can control.
You can control search, and that can push you straight into suggested. And when you go to suggested, anything is possible. So for me, that is kind of why I am doing YouTube, to be able to not just share my message, but to be able to amplify it. You dig?
You dig?
Doug. Yeah, Doug. Definitely Doug.
So
yeah, that's nice.
I have an interesting story of how I found YouTube. And it all starts on Judge Judy. It's no joke.
No, I only saw this in Twitter recently.
I did too.
Okay,
you
all
got
right,
to meet that security guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, right.
And he didn't like me. So, and I know my voice is a little raw, guys. I've been all this stuff, but I was sued by my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I had never done any. I was working in radio. So I got sued, and I get a phone call from Judge Judy. They say, come air all your dirty laundry on national TV. I said, of course. Who would not want to do that, you know? And so I go on the show, and I get completely raked across the coals. I mean, completely raked across the coals. The show went on the air, and within minutes, my Facebook page was blowing up. My roommate came home, and she said, are you seeing what's going on online? And I guess somebody had taken the episode, put it on YouTube, and there was this whole thing going about me. And it was like half the people hated me, half the people loved me. A lot of us would see all these horrible things that people were writing about me, or about yourself, and you'd kind of crawl into a hole. But I was
cry
like,
again.
Right,
Back to crying.
I'm a crier. But I looked at this, and I went, it is amazing to me that online video can have this kind of power, and I was deeply intrigued by it.
Yeah.
So I immediately started making new videos or videos at all, and uploading them and seeing what I could make happen. And that began the journey. I made videos about anything I could think about, you know, just funny ideas and educational things and all sorts of nonsense that went onto my very first channel.
It's funny, the people who decry personal branding and tell you don't build a personal brand, please don't. And we know who I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah.
No, I don't, like, because that's crazy talk.
Watch my rant on that.
Okay, yeah. Like, hello.
But it's funny because they'll tell you, oh, well, don't be a Kardashian, hun. And, like, the funny thing is, before the Kardashian thing was a thing, you harnessed exactly what the power is and why people kind of should stop using that as a joke and a pejorative, because you took what could have been an embarrassing moment, one of the most, like, things that could have, like, people would have crawled into a hole, would have been embarrassed, would have felt devastated, would have felt shamed, and you used it as an opportunity, and you used it to say, I could tap into the power of social media and online content, and people know my name.
Yeah.
Strangers know who I am.
I was getting Facebook requests from men and women telling me that they had crushes on me.
Nice.
No joke. I mean, and I thought, what power is this?
I need to go on TV more.
Yeah, exactly. And that for me, I started to play with it, you know, and that's how I got introduced to YouTube. And before I made a video called The Sin Caller, and that was my first, like, viral hit. So you guys can check that out. It's a really funny short film called The Sin Caller. That did well, and I felt like, okay, I figured it out. I figured out a formula here. Started making more videos. As I went to more videos, I think it was VidSummit 1. Wow. You know, where I was at VidSummit 1, and Daryl Eve says you have to start using TubeBuddy. So I'm not trying nothing until I talk to this Phil guy, and Phil and I had coffee in San Diego, and I remember sitting down. Remember that? And I was just like, I'm like, why are you doing this? And he says, we want to help creators create. And when I saw that he was doing this because he loved what we were doing, I was sold, and I immediately began using TubeBuddy. That brought me to the tag research tool. I learned that my channel was popping on WordPress, and made more WordPress. That started popping, and it was crazy. That's how I got to YouTube, and that's how I got to TubeBuddy from there.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, for me, I got to YouTube. Essentially, you know, I was a fan. You know, I'd watch, like, Mystery Guitar Man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I just loved YouTube, just watching it. My brother and I, in our design business at the time, we had a really difficult client. It was like a big, you know, contract or whatever, and they were just being really difficult. And we were having a conversation about, you know, and we'd love to get out of that. But at the time, you know, I was like, well, if we want to get out of it, we should just stop. And he's like, yeah, but then do what? Right? So I struggled for a while I didn't have an answer, right? So I struggled for a while trying to think of ideas, trying to think of, you know, what else we could get into and things like that. And I meditate every day, right? So during my meditation, for whatever reason, YouTube kept jumping in my head, and I'm like, no, right? And I was like, you know, I'm not going to do that. No way I'm going to do that. And finally, I said, okay, you know, I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll make some videos or whatever. So I started doing some research. Started watching, like, Gideon Shalwick. Started watching some of Tim's old stuff. Started watching James Wedmore. And when I was watching them, I was like, okay, well, you know, they're on this email thing, you know, and stuff like that. And I did some of that stuff for clients and stuff like that. So I kind of had a general idea with it, but I didn't really get it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll put a YouTube channel together. I'll try to build a list and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'll just start, you know, doing that whole thing. And I started doing that in order to, you know, just experiment with it. And you know, it's worked out.
And since then, it hasn't. Yeah, exactly.
Haven't stopped. And
experiment check.
Right. And
confirmation.
Was your hypothesis correct?
Yeah, it worked out. But you know, that was kind of what got me onto YouTube. But as far as TubeBuddy is concerned, I think for me it was either Roberto or Daryl. I think actually is where my introduction to TubeBuddy was. As far as, you know, as far as TubeBuddy as a plugin. Yeah.
You know, it's so neat that you were unsatisfied with your job, right? That's kind of what it was. You were discomfort. It was
the client, really. It was just a really, you know, it was a bad client.
It was enough to, I don't want any more of these kind of clients, you know, and that's what squeezed you out. And I think there's probably a lot of people out there that don't like their day job. and you're creating because you love it, and you believe that you deserve to live a life doing something you love and not something you hate. And that was enough to turn, you know, Nick Nimmin into Nick Nimmin.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that time he was Nick Nimmin, but now he's Nick Nimmin, you know?
And we're starting right now.
And we're starting right now. Yeah.
This is how it is. And
You know, have that brand.
Use that power, guys. Use that, you know, that anger, that frustration inside you. You know?
Aggressive.
I was just thinking
Yeah.
No.
And I'm a
No,
certain
man.
powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Can
You
we
know
get a little love here? A little positivity?
Well, use that frustration and
dark side
that
of the force.
pent up, you know, like you don't like working, you know, slanging burgers. Well, go start making videos
About slinging burgers.
Yeah.
But actually, that would be great. I mean, that's a niche.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to. Here's the thing,
Burger bro.
right? You've really got to decide what you
Why are we
want.
giving this away?
And I think this is. I think this is a good sharing point. I think it's super important to really get straight with your priorities and what you want. And Gary Vee, bless his heart, from the stage, he really spoke to something that I see in so many YouTubers. And here I go, Roberto, Mr. All Love and Positivity. You know, I see a lot of gamers that want to be YouTubers, but you're playing games. If you want to be a YouTuber, be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
If you want to be a YouTuber, you cover games. You figure out the market. You use TubeBuddy.
I told them how to do this. I told them what to do because again, the most successful people in the gaming genre are not doing Let's Plays. To be honest,
They're not. I've broken this down many times.
PewDiePie remixed comedy and gaming, and that
Sure.
was where he broke out. And then Matt Pat took his research and his theatrical background and applied that to doing presentations on gaming. Gaijin Goomba did it on gaming culture and the cultural association, not as the culture of gamers, but the mythology and the lore behind what inspired great games and things of that nature and everything like that. JonTron did something that's closer to like a show. That's
A
like
show.
A show, like around it and everything and doing critique, very similar to the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
So there's like the biggest names
Right.
in YouTube gaming are not necessarily Let's Players aside from like the FPS clans.
Yeah.
Right,
They
exactly.
aren't even doing that, they're just being vloggers at this point.
Right, right. I mean, I think it's really important to know where you bring value to the table. Like that's one thing you can ask yourself right now. Like if you want to grow, this is this cliche word, right? Value. What does that mean? Like, well, what it means is like how are the viewers driving value from your channel, from your video? And it really
Let's simplify it further.
It always kind of boils down to two things. Just give me a second.
Sure.
It boils down to entertainment or information. And I think if you really, you understand where you want to go and how you're going to deliver that value. And I just see so many people that are doing the Let's Plays, and that's entertainment. And if you choose that path, you better be super entertaining. You better make people laugh. You better bring it to the table. And it's not just hitting record and uploading. And that's something I do see people getting into. Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the specific context of Let's Plays for a second, but then I'm gonna go a little bit broader. But it's gonna be very short, but because it's gonna be really to the point. I'm not picking on you when I say this. Let's Plays are the laziest content you can do on YouTube, and I understand that takes easy, accessible barrier to you, especially if you're young or you don't have editing chops or whatever. But it's the laziest content, and here's why. It's because when I was a kid in the 80s, the thing I hated the most was watching someone else play a video game and waiting my bloody turn.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
it is
I remember
uninteresting.
that.
It
Yeah.
is uninteresting. Now asterisk to that. If you are going to do it, and if you are going to be a caricature of the game, then that's different because that's how we got Red versus Blue.
Yes.
Is they found a creative way to take gameplay and cut it up, and that was the beginning of Rooster Teeth, and that was gold because it was comedy genius and it was doing something unique. And then Monty Ohm with modding things gave us things like Haloid and like Samus versus Master Chief and like all these other things. And it was amazing because, again, he found something unique to do with it. And that's the thing. We're not telling you if you love video games that, oh, don't be a YouTuber or don't do video games. Like, and when I say Let's Play is if you're not doing speed runs of, like, nostalgia stuff from my childhood, that, like, why am I going to watch it? Why is it worth my 5 or 10 minutes that I could be doing something else with? The shortcut to everything you want to do is what's in it for them. So if you're going to do Let's Plays, then it needs to be an educational value, like Brian said, in the fact that it's a Let's Play that teaches me how to get through the dungeon of that thing, or how to beat the boss, or exposes the glitch in the game. It has to be informative in that. It needs to be what Nintendo Power Magazine would do, because I kept telling people, go to the magazine rack, find the information or entertainment thing in the magazine rack in your genre and your niche, translate that to a video that fits your personality and your skills. That is the ultimate hack in the world, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you already know the demand is there because someone with millions of dollars has done the research, because, like, for all the money they waste on print, another rant, they've already done the research for you. Siphon from it, take it to the digital platform, make it your own. Right? Or it can be entertainment, because then you can be smart and you can be Montione, rest in peace, or you can be the guys from Red vs. Blue, and you can do something inventive and creative and comedic with it, or serious, or a dramatization, or whatever. Or you can be fun and informative, like Matt Pat from Game Theory. Couldn't be here with us today.
I think that's like doing both of those things.
Yeah,
still, it's TV, right? It's YouTube is the new TV, and you're not going to watch a boring TV show, right? You're not going to just, it's not going to watch a screensaver.
Exactly.
You've got to add an entertainment value, or a comedic value, or an educational value,
right?
Or an inspirational.
Or you fill in the blank, right? There's got to be a reason people are tuning in, and you guys that are out there right now, you already know, because that's why you want to do video.
It's why you watch. It's why you watch.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called YouTube.
Yeah, right. And to take value another step, I mean, at the end of the day, it's giving. You're giving people a reason to be motivated. You're giving people an escape from their day to day. You're giving people knowledge. You're giving people inspiration. You know what I mean?
It's something that there's a demand for.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
And there's nothing really wrong with the Let's Plays. No. But again, like I kind of opened that up with, I think it's really important to know what you want. And if you really do want to grow, then it might seem it's harder to do a tutorial. It might seem harder, but again, you've got to really decide. Like, if you want to have fun, that's cool. Then be really happy with that. But, expectations, I mean, it's literally a key word. It's video. Reality versus expectations. And it's just, I mean, that's what it is on YouTube, right? Like, it's going to be fun. Because I see, and they have all these comments, and there's people, and they make money, and they're on these ships, and they're on boats, and woohoo! And then it's like, and you're editing. And then you're going to edit again and again, and your upload.
And
where
the views
burning under the bright light.
And people become successful from the work they do behind closed doors, not the 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that what a lot of creators, and I know I'm personally guilty of this, is you burn yourself out because you want that success and you're putting in the work, and then you get 4 views.
Yeah.
It's the definition of success that's the problem. The definition of success is views and subscribers. The definition of success should be creating a video, because that's the actual hard thing to do. Like,
completing
that's
and
deliverable. That's
deliverable. Well, everybody gets to decide. See,
somebody somewhere is buying views and subscribers for $5 freaking bucks, and I can't find them, and I can't show up at their house because I.
And
absolutely.
With red lightsaber in hand. But see, that's the thing. That's easy. Is you can fake a byproduct, you can fake a report, you can fake all that, but you can't fake his work. So if you redefine success as I built something, I made something, I shot something, I did it myself. And that's the check in the box, and like, I'm happy, and I put it out into the world, do what it may, but I made the thing. Now I'm on to making the next thing, and that's your satisfaction factor, and that's what you tie. You have to hack your brain. Success has to be about making and building a body of work and doing a thing that you enjoy and that you love, not what comes next. What comes next is gravy.
Right.
I agree. And one of the things I consider successful is if my next video, personally, for TubeBuddy or for my personal channel, if it is better to me than my previous, that is a success. And I don't care the view count. I don't care the comment count. I care that if I've improved. That's what I care.
For me, it's success if I just get it done. We go through this too, guys. Like, it's not like we got it all figured out all the time. Like, half the time, we're going, how do I make another tutorial fun? How do I, do I have to use this joke again?
Like, do I just to make
fun? That's a whole brain. And the next word is a bad word, and I want you. But I mean, it's like I can't talk about that anymore. Like I've made that video.
It's true. We go through the same thing. Trying to keep ourselves entertained, trying to find new ways to do the same thing we've done over and over again because we know it works. Like, going through this, like, do I need to change my bumper? I've used this bumper 7 times now. Like, and you just got to stick with it. You got to power through those. You said brain hack. So much time is I spend rewiring my brain.
Totally.
You know,
like,
to just I enjoy this. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. You know, and pushing through.
You know
So
why I'm not
quickly,
daily anymore? I'm
What?
not daily anymore because it got too easy to manufacture my format, and I had to challenge myself again. I had to make everything fun again, which meant to start taking up more time and energy, and I'm traveling more,
Yes.
as you guys know.
Yes.
So I couldn't sustain that, not because of a quantity versus quality thing, but because I couldn't, if I kept going, I would burn out because it wouldn't be fun anymore because I, like, my thumbnail thing, I had to up my thumbnail game because I'm like, I look at Nick, I got a thumbnail game, whoops. Like I can't sit there and look at what Nick's doing and do the lazy thumbnails that I was doing that I templated out so easily.
Yeah.
I had to do something else. I had to make it fun again, and I had to challenge myself.
I love
it's
that,
been
man.
better.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit there. I couldn't watch what some of my friends were doing creatively with their content and feel satisfied with what I was doing. Not from a compete or watch what other people are doing, but it's like I'm like, wow, that looks so much fun. Or like I wonder how they figured that out or how they learned that. It's like it meant that I couldn't do the same thing and recycle something that I knew would work and be easy. I had to stretch. I had to make YouTube fun again.
Yes.
I had to make it fun again because otherwise you're on the road to burnout.
And you were in control of that. You were the one in control of that. It's not about the guy who's getting more views than you. It's not about your mom who says, stop wasting your time. It's about you and the commitment you're going to make to your channel. You know, you're either going to do it or you're not based on you.
The commitment you're going to make to yourself.
Yes.
Not just your channel. It's the commitment you're going to make to yourself. Like, hey, this is what I want to do. What's the work that I need to do in order to fill in that blank?
Yeah, and are you going to be the type of person that gives up, or are you going to be the type of person that perseveres? Like, is this going to be the thing that you do? Have you guys ever wanted to quit?
Oh, yeah.
No, but
yeah, I haven't either.
You know, like I've taken a few breaks and just talking about like getting to that point where wow, this is hard, or I'm having such a bad day, or you're playing a catch up, or you're comparing yourself. And for me, I think if you really have talks with yourself and you just try to check yourself at the door sometimes, and you say what's really important. I got to a better place. Like I'm kind of cool where things are at right now. You know, I'm growing. I'm making money. I'm having fun. I think that's really important. This should be fun. Sometimes we can lose sight of that, but you know, I'm so blessed that somehow I got to a healthier place. So like if you're so consumed by like growing that it's not fun anymore, then I think it's important just to stop and just take a breath and just kind of reevaluate.
Yeah,
because man, holy smokes, that's a drag. Because this really is fun.
Yeah.
It takes a tremendous amount of effort, and maybe that's part of it. Like working so hard and putting in the effort and the grind and the hustle and all the words that we use as YouTubers to talk about the path.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I have to say about that for the minute.
That's good.
So moving on, we have some audience members here. I know we kind of said we might do we have any questions from the people watching? I know earlier we mentioned that. And if not, we'll just go to the next chat question. But all right.
Anybody have a question?
You guys have questions?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, absolutely.
Go for it.
So I'm shooting behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
All right,
Hi.
Excellent.
So my name is Kai Primo. I literally got into the game 2 months ago.
Oh,
Okay.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Good job.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to do YouTube since 2007, and you know, had the limited blocks, and I guess I'm gonna start. Who cares? And the opinions of others felt like it was a dinosaur that was going to kill me, and so I just didn't even do it. And so not until about I had a massive panic attack in March where I literally witnessed myself and the observer wanting to leave the body, something shifted, and all of a sudden it was like, no, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do this. And so I built my channel, and my audience that I'm serving, the audience that I serve, are entrepreneurs like myself, who's kind of sitting it out, waiting to do something, waiting to get it done, but want to do it like deep inside their hearts. And so as a noob, are you a noob YouTuber or a noob entrepreneur? Noob YouTuber. I mean, I've had businesses, so I've had like sweat businesses, if you will. Right? So something business, I tried to do recording business, I had graduated music, and thought I would do that, and then et cetera, But now I'm seeing this, I'm so new to the digital space, and I'm seeing that the profit margins are incredible just by having fun, by being yourself, expressing who you are, and being able to build a business. And so this is just absolutely fascinating to me. And all you need to do is solve problems, help people around the globe connect with people around the globe using these platforms. And so I'm fascinated, and I want to do it, and I just want to do what you guys are doing, just by helping people. So my audience, again, are entrepreneurs, and that's, I guess we call it the target market in the lingo.
Target market.
The target market. So I wish to create success. So what would be your best advice for someone like myself who's just getting started? I'm hungry, I'm gung-ho, and I love it. I'm absolutely addicted right now. There's the overwhelm, there's tons of editing, content, like how do you even get organized? Like, I guess best advice, best practice advice.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, that's what are your goals?
Yeah, what does success mean to you?
Yeah, what is it
And
you're trying to
also
actually do?
Okay, I would love to make this a full-time gig. So if I were...
But what are you trying to do? That's not a, you know what I mean?
That's what.
That's a byproduct.
Yes.
Like, what do you want to
That's a side
do?
effect.
Yes.
Think about this.
But
Like,
maybe that's the advice is, well, the first thing you need to do is figure out
Why?
Like-
what it is you want to do.
Yeah.
like how like I like to ask, how do you want to spend your time? Because at the end of the day, that's to me really important. I like hanging out, chatting with Nick, meeting Roberto. I like how I spend my time, and I also make enough money. And like, so to me, that's pretty cool.
What?
Well, bro.
Yeah, they were like, hey, what about us?
Oh yeah, no. Well,
Yeah.
well, you guys are great.
Like, Brian,
And Roberto's like deadpan over there. Whatever,
No,
we're talking,
no,
you guys.
just
Leave
like,
us alone.
just like we need food. Like at some point, like we
Okay.
need to eat. At some point, that's why I'm deadpan over there. No,
Oh.
but I was gonna no, but like not. That's not a cut off thing, short thing. I'm just expressing the fact that like this is the thing we're bad at is self care.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, right,
Roberto
right,
be
right.
hungry. Yeah, that happens at events.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
we didn't even eat today, he or I either, until like
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
like
Yeah, I had
Yeah, just
breakfast
woke up
at
and started
4.
going.
And I didn't even realize I hadn't eaten.
Yeah,
the Gary Vee lunch. Like that's all I had. Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
let's get
Yeah.
back to her question
But
though.
her,
Yeah.
no, my question to her question is what we need to understand to be able to help you answer this question, which is also the question the audience needs to ask themselves, is beyond the monetary upside of you getting to do and live your life on your own terms full time, what's your underlying why? Because I know that Owen wants to help small business owners navigate the jungle of the digital space.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. I know that Nick wants to help creators in general because he's a creative person. He came from a creative services background just like me, and he wants to give them the ability to use a platform of freedom of expression to monetize, but also to get their voice out because not everybody's in this to make it a full-time thing. Some people are in this because they just need their voice to be out there so that they can escape the voice in their head. And O'Brien, I know that you have business goals and aspirations, but you genuinely want to help creators, but also you want to see what's going to happen. You have a curiosity about all this, and you love experimenting.
Yeah.
Like, so we have underlying whys. I want to save starving artists from themselves because they're in their own way. Like, that we all have because that's what my experience was.
Yeah.
We all have an underlying why that has zero to do with the cash, even though it's okay. Like, YouTube is not the cash grab everyone wants to think. But
Right.
notice, we all have a why that's about you guys, not about ourselves, that's beyond that. I need to hear what your why. Like, what is it about helping young entrepreneurs? Because you're helping your competition. What is it about you, and what is it about your experience? What is it about your journey that makes you want to help people that are going to take money out of your pocket?
So, the whole thing is about expression. So it is a spiritual journey for me as with anything else. It is an expansion of consciousness in this avenue, right? So I'm just witnessing my consciousness expand. So I'm documenting my entire journey, but my message is to remember that we are love and light, and there is no separation. And
So why not be a Sherpa or a guru, or why not be a full-time meditation YouTuber? Why entrepreneurship if this is very much, because by the way, I love the woo-woo. I love it. But like what I'm not hearing is, I'm not hearing that you have a drive to help people. Like what I'm not hearing is, I'm not hearing something along the lines of what, like I'm not expecting.
It's all
to hear
about her.
Yeah.
I want to hear
yeah.
it.
I want to hear
what-
like I want to hear like
what-
what is it about somebody who's literally a starving artist or one paycheck away from being in a cardboard box? What about that makes you want to do what you're going to do if your goal is to help entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So, for an example, why I create is when my mother died, she made me realize that life is short. So I create to help people realize that they have one life, period.
That's huge, man.
It is.
And so I'm here, and we're all here. The thing that you're doing is well, because we talked about you not knowing, you are here. There are people who want what you're searching for who are asleep. You have to work while they're asleep. You have to work harder. Because Gary Vee in his keynote today said the market is only going to become more saturated. That's a fact.
And it's always been like
but
that.
But you are right here with us now. That says a lot. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Can I go? I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. Here's what I'm going to say. You need to write out 100 video titles.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do, and then figure it all out as you go. Now, I'm just trying to get like a concrete answer, in there. And I think a lot of the people that are watching are kind of, looking for something more concrete. If you want to go on YouTube and that's all you know right now, well, what are you going to do for YouTube? You need to write out 100 titles. And I don't mean like, an inspirational video, love and light. I'm talking about like scientific proof that we are love and light. How are humans inspired? I'm talking about actual titles. Write out the titles. Write out 100 of them. And I promise you, you can get this done. All of you guys, you can get this done in an afternoon. Yeah. Once you get those first 5 and you start rolling, the ideas, that energy inside of you, that creativity inside of you will pour out on paper.
Do it tonight.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah, start right now.
Do it tonight.
Yeah.
100 titles on an Excel spreadsheet, and that is your plan. You figure out the monetization. You figure out like what your messaging is later, but just make the now you know what you're doing.
Take Owen's challenge. Screenshot your 100 titles with your phone. If it's in Excel, if it's in your notebook, screenshot on your phone. Tweet it at
all
of us. Especially me, because like I'm gonna call you out on it. Like
I love that, dude. No, I love that. I might even make a challenge out of that.
Do
like for my own company, I love that.
But that's the genius. They just helped you, but they also helped themselves, and that's how they are successful. That's business. That was quick. That was immediate. But not only were you informed, but Owen just came up with an idea. That's what we're in this for. We helped you, and we also came up with more content to help others. Correct?
Absolutely.
I think, go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah, I was going to say another thing as well is while you're putting those titles together, you might also realize that because some of your messaging is that that you're expanding your consciousness and you want to let people know that they're love and light and all of that, because that's kind of the first thing that you went towards. While you're writing out those titles, you might also come to the conclusion that maybe going towards entrepreneurs isn't what I'm really after. Maybe it is like Roberto was saying. Maybe I need to go into the meditation space. Maybe I need to go into another space, because working through all of that, you're going to be able to objectively look at that and say, okay, out of all these videos, if I make all of these 100 videos, is this something that I actually want to do? Do I actually want to make 100 of these with 100 of this type of content? Yeah. So by doing that, that's also going to help you define exactly, is this right for me or not? Is this something that I'm going to be able to sustain for a long period of time?
That's great.
So if my passion is entrepreneurship, because I'm absolutely fascinated by this avenue, because I get to play with your brothers and sisters, right? And as well as remembering and witnessing the journey from the observer. So it's about, I share the strategies, the tips, the inspiration as I go through this thing as a newbie, as a beginner. And I share that along with others. So best practices, for instance, like doing this interview, for instance. I get to share this so someone will receive value from it and then begin or whatever. And also create and build businesses from joy. Like I really do enjoy.
So one thing to think about, and I'm going to deviate a little bit from what you guys have said, because you just mentioned a really important word, and you said if. And if I ask you a question right now, do you know for sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you want to go into the entrepreneurial space?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, but every time people ask you questions, you don't really talk about how you want to spend your time. You tell me that it's love and light. Like, what does that mean? Listen, I'm woo-woo. I'm spiritual, like, in my own way, right? That's how I feel about things. That's my existence on this planet. But how are you going to spend your time? Have you investigated Facebook, social media? Have you thought about writing a book? Have you gone to a conference? Have you talked to other people? Do you really know how you want to spend your time? Because if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you've got to guide people and help them on their journey. And you've got to understand, and you say yes, but your word is entrepreneur. And you know what? That is a word that is plastered on top of hundreds of thousands of websites that are all Me Too, and it's author, speaker, and entrepreneur, and nothing but love. But that means nothing to me.
CEO is the stupidest thing you can put on a business card because it tells me nothing.
Nothing.
It tells me nothing. It has zero value
So-
and everything like that. That is the most worthless title.
And almost kind of tells me a ton. It tells me that you don't know how to make a business card.
So,
You know
like
what I mean?
one thing to think about is just like really just give yourself the opportunity to explore. You know what I mean? I think you're trying to figure this out too. You're really excited. Like this is how it is when we get started, is trying to figure out how you're going to spend your time, what you're going to do, what avenue and whatnot. But
I'm going to give you a content strategy because I picked up on something.
Phil's business card says CEO on it.
Phil, we love you anyway. We will forgive all of your sins.
He just took his cards out of his pocket and threw them on the ground. That was pretty
Phil,
funny.
we absolve you.
And you know, the other thing is, instead of helping other people right now, one of the things you can do, and this is super powerful, is just share.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a leader. You don't have to be
Oh,
a
that's
big
good.
guru.
That's what I'm going to give her as a content strategy.
You can just share your experience. And I do this all the time, and I feel it's really empowering for me too, because you know what? Like I've said, I don't have it all figured out. I've just been playing the game a while, and I'm telling you, I'm pretty damn stubborn. I like make up my mind. You just better get out of the way, because I'm coming through whether you want to. You know, it's going to happen.
Get
So,
out the way.
but
Hurricane Brian G.
Yeah.
yeah,
Woo.
no, but you know, so like
I
just
like that.
yeah, I don't know what I said anymore.
Watch out, Florida.
I'm all done now.
So
I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna give her a tremendous gift right now. Like in all humility, I mean, like because here's the thing.
No,
Really?
I don't know if I can.
humble.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure. That's stretching it a little bit.
So, the content strategy that I want to give you is because what I hear in this is you say you want to play in this space and you're fascinated because you want to hang with people like us and like Gary and that's fine. Here's the thing. The value that you can give someone like us is not maybe even helping us be better entrepreneurs. But because of all the woo-woo stuff, you might be able to help us be better human beings.
Yeah.
Which means my content strategy as a hack for you is to interview entrepreneurs, but not about their entrepreneurship,
That's cool.
but about the balance of how they balance their life as a human and their life as an individual that's trying to scale and build this business and everything like that. Because the thing is, I don't get asked about what I believe on a spiritual level. I don't get asked about my daily habits. I don't get asked about my mindset. I don't get asked in an interview about my positivity or how I maintain that. I don't get asked about when I hit emotional rock bottom. I don't get asked about how I overcame depression and anxiety. At a podcast where people can get that pulled out of me by somebody, and also someone who might actually be able to educate me on how I might be able to address vulnerabilities and weaknesses in myself, someone who could actually give me value on that, somebody that can actually help me with some of my own insecurities, my anxieties, my challenges, by opening me up to a broader world or making me think about something different, offering me perspective or offering me a book that I should read, and doing that on a podcast and an interview and people being able to witness a potential beginning of something new for me or my transformation or learn something about my journey they've never heard because no one bothered to ask. That's how you would be able to create disproportionate value. That's how you'd be unique out of everyone with a podcast, everyone in the entrepreneur space, everyone in the interview space, because you would have the angle of I'm going to get at the core of the human, the person behind that brand, the person behind that business in a way that nobody else is doing because they have a spiritual perspective or angle to it. They want to understand what is it that, why do you believe the things that you believe and why do you believe that they've contributed to your success up until now? Because that is the balance. Because we are all more than one thing. And you can pull something out of me that no interview, that John Lee Dumas, that Pat Flynn, I love these guys, and they're not going to ask me that. You might. So that is my content strategy. That is my gift to you, is something that would give everyone at this table value, that would extract something from us that our audience has never seen or heard before, and that would still let you have access to entrepreneurs and play in the space and would attract the top tier talent to you because they would want to, they would be curious about what you're going to pull out of them and what's going to happen, and whether they're going to end up like revealing something like raw from their dark past and get some clarity on it, and maybe they resolve that feeling because they've never gotten to talk about it, or maybe they break down in tears and it's an emotional moment. Like, who knows? Maybe they become enlightened right then and there. Like, who knows? And that curiosity, the fact that we don't know, that's what's exciting. That's what value looks like. That's how you end up doing hub, help, and hero all in one thing. The thing that almost no one can pull off. And that's my gift to you.
That's great advice. So, I don't mean to cut you off, but we do need to move a little forward.
I understand.
Yeah.
I definitely.
But I
really,
do think that was
I
very
don't
nice.
think I could have articulated it. My heart was. I mean, it was about helping create joy, and I just couldn't articulate it. And I honor you so much. Thank you for for assisting. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
So, moving forward, I want to go on to a point. We don't usually do streams where I ask you guys general questions about the space. Going on to what Roberto said, I wanted to do a stream different because we could have talked about the TubeBuddy tools every day of the week, but
Talk about the algorithm.
yeah.
How to get views?
What?
Yeah.
How to get views?
That's a great video idea.
Will you subscribe to my channel?
Get your first 1,000 views. Get your first 100 subscribers.
Only but I didn't press 1 2. How would you know I subbed? But okay, so the next few questions are just simple yes or no questions, and these are kind of more YouTube focused. So if it's a yes, we're just going to do a thumbs up because a lot of times they want to ask all of us, and we're just not in the same space. So the question is yes or no. Do you think watch time is more important than views? Quick answers. All right. Yes or no? Do you think... This one's one of my favorite questions. We got this from a forum. So I memorized this. So this question was, yes or no, do you think that YouTube will ever die? So what I mean by that is, do you think it will become obsolete?
Ever?
Yeah. Any time frame?
No.
No, Google's world domination, and they can operate it at a loss.
Skynet,
They're the only company.
yeah.
They're one of the only companies with cash like
I'm
that
out.
that can
I'm not
operate
answering.
At a loss.
Sure.
They can operate at a loss.
Who knows?
How
Like,
about-
who cares? Who cares? I'm busy. I got
If I'm
videos to
YouTube-
make tomorrow.
If I'm Google, I operate YouTube at a loss just to crush my enemies. I'm not even kidding.
Crush your enemies, brother. Just take a breath, man. Jeez.
You know what? I get where both of you guys are coming from, though, because I'm on your page for sure. Like, the way that the new economy is, like, there are companies that won't ever go away, you know? And when I say won't ever, foreseeably, okay? That's the foreseeable future.
Agreed.
But I see what Brian's saying at the same time is like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Gary had a great point today. He says every time a new platform comes out, you need to sign up to it, you need to play with it, you need to add content to it, and then drive all your existing audience over to that platform to see if anything sticks. And I was thinking the opposite walking in here, as I just ignore them and ignore the noise. But I really like that perspective. It's like maybe it won't be obsolete, but maybe it won't be the #1 place to upload your videos.
And then it's time to move on. And when that happens, I'll move on. But like,
adapt.
And we're supposed to just do yes or no, right?
Yeah, we got
What happened?
I was just like, I'm gonna let him go. I'm having fun.
I like just knowing now, but we talked about the future of machine learning.
Yeah.
And knowing what Google is infrastructurally outside of what we understand Google to be as a search engine.
Yeah.
Knowing the other things in telecommunications and infrastructure and fiber, their satellite technology, all the other aspects of Google. That I'm not kidding about the world domination thing, and knowing that they have this phone appliance and they have that as a platform competitive with Apple, and that they're even embedded in Apple's ecosystem. Like, I know that the appliance-wise distribution, Google will be indefinite. It will be a staple in a way that many other things can't be, just because it's embedded in our culture, in our ecosystem, our infrastructure, in our daily lives. They're getting ready to be in our smart home technology, that will be a new thing. Like, that is why, and then combined with the machine learning, Skynet's real.
I'm totally on that. No, I'm totally on that page.
The science fiction runs deep.
They can operate to have that, and then to own the new television. They can operate that at a loss just to win on culture.
You won't be able to make a choice against them. You know what I mean? Kind of have the microchip in your brain kind of thing. You know, they're going to own everything.
Less tinfoil hat, but yes.
Okay, so I'm tinfoil hat.
Like I said, I got a video to make tomorrow.
All right, next one.
So my next question is, will you go back to the VidSummit next year?
Absolutely.
High five.
If YouTube's still around.
Yeah.
All right. My final yes or no, and I got this all from our community forum, so if you're not already a member, there's a link in the description. I highly recommend joining. And the last yes or no is, are you happy with all of the content you produce on your channel currently? And that means all of it. Can you look at it and go, I'm 100% satisfied? And that's the most telling question, because so many of our community, they look up to you for, and they think that you guys are not unsatisfied. I've seen that all the time. I saw once in one of your live streams that was on TubeBuddy. Roberto's never upset about his uploads.
I'm only ever upset about my own.
It's like,
I find the flaw in everything. Do you realize that there's a reason I don't know when I got my first 100 or 1,000 subscribers is because I'm so neurotic that all I was pissed about the audio the entire time.
like
I'm still mad about the audio.
all of it, all the technical. Why can't why can't it be simple? Like, why did I have to choose the most freaking technical?
But you must upload anyway. You upload anyway.
I
it's
get over
Tuesday. It's 9:30. You upload, and you know what? I've actually closed my eyes and just kind of clicked it, and you just let it go. Yeah. You have to do it. That's what being a pro is all about. You know, it's you do it anyway.
And I think as soon as you do get comfortable with it, and you're like, okay, yeah, thumbs up on that one. Then that's when it's like, okay, well, now you're stagnant. Now you're not growing.
Yeah.
You're not growing.
If you're happy with everything, then you don't have room to grow.
My dissatisfaction is why I'm not daily right now is because I'm putting a little bit more time. Because again, I got to where it could be 20, 15 minutes of editing. I got down to that. Now I'm back to like an hour because I'm like messing around and experimenting, and sometimes I leave stuff on the chopping block. It's like it's not an hour to get it perfect or get it right. It's an hour of literally just playing with things.
But that's part of it, right?
Things, which is great. It's
fun totally great.
It's completely inefficient, but it's
fine.
I
think that's part of the path, though. Is like we're trying to explore and improve, and like, what's the point anyway? Seriously, like you just said it. Like, and I think you have to realize that. Like, I did that. I crossed that bridge. I wrote that book. I wrote the second book. I did a video. I got good at this. I did daily. Now what do? Like me and Nick, we talk all the time, and with Roberto too, and Andrew and Owen and the whole panel. When you get comfortable with the level of quality and the creative edge or flair that you add to your video, we'll just do something else. Like I'm building a funnel, or I'm going to do this, or a new book, or I'm going to improve my live stream. So I don't think anyone's ever satisfied. It's just wanting to move forward and better yourself as a person. So that's the thing of trying just to be okay with where you are today, knowing you can improve a little bit tomorrow. And when you get to that place, it's really awesome. It's empowering because that's what it's about. It's not the subscriber. It's not the, Oh, Gord's got a question.
Oh, go for it.
I'm just curious, what part of the work that you guys do to deliver your videos that is the creative thing that really gets you stoked, that you're not, no matter how you scale, you're not going to fully let go of that? Like, as you need outsourcers in order to do editing, different things, just to produce more. What things do each of you love the most about what you
presenting?
Do creatively?
Actually presenting the
restate
content.
the question
I love. Basically, what Gord was asking is what about the process is it that we love the most? Essentially,
is that your question?
When we're actually creating the content, what is it that you like the most?
Yeah, that you just want to hold on to because that's one aspect of what you do you love.
So I do not mean to interrupt. We are at 1% battery life, so if we cut out on the stream, we will have this. So don't worry about that. Keep going.
Yeah, so for me on that, it's actually presenting the content. I love recording videos, doing a few different takes and seeing how I can make it sound and things like that. The actual that process of it, as far as the actual creation process, right? Like for me, I really enjoy that part. I actually get charged when I make videos. It's a fun process. I actually the energy just starts coming out. You know what I mean? I love it.
For me, it's the jokes. I know it sounds silly. Like I put quick little jokes and quips into my videos.
Right.
And that for me entertains this boyhood dream of being an actor, comedian.
Yeah.
That I'm never gonna stop doing it. And I love that part.
It's great. We have that kind of thing
in common.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Totally. How about you, Roberto?
I could never let go of interacting with the comments.
Yeah.
I can outsource the SEO to someone that I trained to be an apprentice, to do that.
What the heck? Somebody save me.
So many sins.
The editing, I'm planning to start to outsource that. It's
Sure.
the reason why in 2018 it might go to for a brief period of time to see what happens. I want to try 2 a day.
We're down.
But we still have the recording.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Is it
I'm
over?
No, I have recording, so we'll post that later.
So that's something I can't let go of is the comment section. I have to be there. I have to do that.
Nice. Brian?